Peach. What are you doing, man?
Hey, man. Well, it's the holiday season, and instead of sending out Christmas cards this year, I thought maybe we'd start to hand some of these L's out back to these teams. We've had L's piling up over the years, and just figured we should share them out there.
I know, that's right. Can I help?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Do Boston right there.
Okay. All right, here. Boston, and I take one of these.
Oh, no. They get two.
Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 35. It's a holiday episode. We hope that this brings you lots of season's tidings and good cheer as you enter the holidays and the new year. Look at me go. We've got a great show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to check in with each other in the Chuma Are You OKK check-in. We will scour the interwebs in the social media roundup. Peach will tell us what he learned in our recent set of games. We've got some special guests, Peach. We already know. We already shot this. The six-man show coming in for a special segment of starter, backup, and bench. Peach and I will run down our recent wagers and set a few more in the Court Cousins Championship to see who's going to take that pretty piece of hardware.
And
yeah, well, no, take. And stick around for the large ending.
So large.
Before any of those hijinks, a special shout out to all of our second cousins and all-stars on the Patreon. Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Wally Akbar, Al, Bernie Pichet, Matthew Bell, who we just hung out with for a while, Gloria and Damien, Yadi, Connor, and the Polish Wonder.
Excelsior!
Oh, that's a great shout out, Pish. That gives me like King Arthur vibes. Is that where you're getting that from? Or
I just know it's something people shout.
Okay.
And that's kind of what my list is now, is things that shout.
Yeah, what do people
one of the things I actually have on my list that I've wanted to use but won't.
But you won't.
I want to yell fire, but I know Nadra's downstairs. If she hears us yelling fire, she might panic. So you know what? Just scratching that one off right now.
That's responsible.
No need.
You're so responsible. Thank you, Peach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No need for panic.
Peach's signs. Hashtag Peach's signs. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We're doing a little campaign. We've made some corny graphics. We're posting them around. We're trying to engage folks, get folks. If you've been watching, I think 60% of our folks are subscribers. That means 40% just haven't done that little thing and just click that subscribe.
Right. Maybe we haven't won you over yet.
Yeah. We hope we're getting close.
Stick around.
And if you've been watching and you just have slipped your mind, do that thing. And we've had so many people jump on lately. In the past, 2 days, we've gotten 60 subscribers. It's been crazy. And we're only 160 or 70 away now.
Let's go. 1,000. Let me grow on you. I like to feel like I'm the Moss of people, right? I'll grow on you, and it looks cool. But I got to be on the right side of you. So, let me get in there.
And I'm definitely a grower, not a shower, too. So I think
for sure.
That let's grow together.
That, actually,
let's grow together. Thanks so much for your support, just for watching. If you're subscribed, if you're clicking the like, if you're sharing it, we really appreciate it. Engaging on the socials. And as a little festivus atmosphere, some holiday tidings, Peach has 3 mystery presents there.
I haven't wrapped them yet, but I will.
Will you?
I will. I got to do a bunch of wrapping in the next couple of days. So
can you mail them wrapped?
I'll find a way.
Okay.
I'll find a way for you, but only if you subscribe.
Well, you don't even need to subscribe, really. For this one,
all right,
we just want people to reach out to us. courtcousinsnba@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you reach out to us, then we'll pick the first 3.
What do they need to reach with, though? Something important?
Well, no, we'll reach out when they holler, and we'll get their address.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
To send it out.
I'm ready.
To whoever wins.
I got my digital scale here. We'll wrap them up. We'll ship them out. It'll be special.
Hell yeah. That's nice of you, Peach. What a thoughtful guy. This is why I love this man here. Thoughtful gentleman. Such a kind man.
Thoughtful but poor.
Yeah.
Because that's more gifts right there than I have for this week.
You don't need to be rich
for
to be
this
thoughtful.
Coming up 25th.
You don't need to be rich to be thoughtful.
Well, that's true, but you can't wrap up thoughtfulness and put it in a box.
Well, I'd rather be thoughtful than rich, I think.
Yeah, you should be able to parlay thoughtfulness into some cash. should be a one makes other.
And that's capitalism, situation. Baby.
But you could be rich and dumb. So.
All right. Well, none of our listeners, none of the second cousins out there are dumb. If you are rich, though, go over to the Patreon. Check it out. We've got some goals. How are you doing today, Peesh? For the Chuma Are You Okay check-in, man. I care about how you're doing. How you feeling, man? You got some days off right now coming up.
I do. Today was day one of those days off, and I woke up by immediately having to do some work.
Oh,
because awesome. I've selected this great studio photo of Chuma Okiki. Look at how well this is shot. This is perfectly textured and everything.
yeah.
I've been pretty hard on Chuma lately because I did not care for his play on the court. It was kind of he was playing poorly at a time when we were playing poorly. But all that aside, sorry to hear about his injury.
Yeah.
I wish he could be out there trying to prove me wrong. And I think part of what has really struck me about Chuma Okiki is I see a lot of me and him. We're both really good defenders. We're not known for our shooting prowess. We both kind of have plans of trying to do stuff, and something always seems to kind of get in the way, and then we have to kind of like restart again.
Yeah.
And he's had to do that several times over his career, obviously in a different way than I have, but I've lived in 3 different cities in the past 3 years. So I can identify with some of these things that he's going through. It's tough. It is what it is. I know he's going to be good, much in the same way I'll be good, because he has a good family of people around him. So I feel like no matter what you see from Chuma Okiki, whether or KK, whether he's on the court for us ever again or not, I know there's a lot of speculation about it. As a man, I know he's going to be fine because he's got a great sense of humor, right?
Yeah, that's you.
And he's going to find a way to get through because he's got good people around him, and he makes people laugh and feel good when they're around him. Obviously, he's always said, the team always says that he's one of their favorite guys.
Yeah.
So they don't just hand that out. You have to earn that. So all the best to you in your recovery, sir. I see a lot of you and me, so hoping that you're still being somewhat positive in a time when things could be negative. At least the team is winning, and that's fun, right?
Hey,
Hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're sending our best to Chum, Big Chum out there.
Now, what is this blur spot?
Okay, so yeah, I picked this. The 6-man guys inspired me. I went a little digging on Chuma's Instagram, and I saw this very rock star looking, but very blurry photo of Chuma, right? He's got the rock star shades on at night. Sun never sets on a badass. I'm going into winter break right now, and therefore I morph. I morph from responsible, going to bed, waking up early Kyle into rock star party life Kyle. Can I dream? Okay. Can I dream that I'm going to stay up after midnight one day this next week?
It's your check-in, brother.
Okay. No, but I mean, I am feeling good going into some time off. It's kind of screwed up that I know later when my break is coming to be over, I'll be a nervous wreck because I haven't maybe done some of the things that I have planned that I'm going to do in the meantime. But I'm going to try to get ahead of that. I'm going to live like a rock star. I'm going to have a good time. I'm feeling good right now. Definitely excited for the break. Happy to be hanging out with you, man. Your pops is coming down for the holiday, talking about that support system. Ladies and gentlemen out there, hope you're loving on your loved ones during the holiday. I love you, Peesh. Great sense of humor. I love that you connected that with Chum. Honestly, sometimes Nadra gets mad at me because I get more excited when you come home than when she comes home. Because I like to see you. And
I have seen your tail wag a little bit more.
We have good banter. I can't. She loves the magic, but I can't sometimes get as deep as I might want to.
Right, I understand. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit with Jonathan off air before we did our segment about how sometimes it's tough when you talk to casuals and they don't know. And I explained to him how that used to be you when you talk to me, and I'd be like, "Yeah, Tyler Ennis, cool. I don't know who that is. Yeah, great." It's like,
but now you're deep.
Now I know.
You're back in the rabbit hole.
I know too much.
All right. Well, you do know so much, Peesh.
Yep.
And so I want some of that knowledge. The second cousins out there, they want some of that knowledge.
Okay.
So let us know. What did you learn, sir, in this recent stretch of games?
All right. I'm leading off with this because I thought it pretty early on into this little win streak. By the way, the first legit win streak to happen in the history of this show. We hadn't been doing a lot of practices and skipping some shoot arounds and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what the team must have done. They all got together. They made a circle. They all put their right foot in. They all took their right foot out. They put their right foot back in, and then they shook it all about because they have done the hokey pokey and turned themselves around. We were disgusted by some play we saw a couple of weeks ago. And now all of a sudden, boom, team just winning, gelling, shots are falling, things are happening. We're behind in games, no big deal. We'll come back, we'll win. We're not getting calls. It's all right. We're good to go. Like, we lost one game in this stretch by 1 point to the Hawks. There's no shame in that. We went to Boston and took 2. I mean, these are good times. Am I right?
I can't get out of my head the team doing the hokey pokey. I'm still on that.
Well, sometimes when a guy puts a right foot in, it's got a cast on it. But but aside from that, they all have done the hokey pokey and they've turned themselves around. And part of that is because of these two gentlemen I'm opening up with first. I'm not going to go into great detail because we're going to talk about them later.
Yes, we will.
But Fultz has definitely brought some consistency and I think some veteranness to a lineup that's really needed it. And then Moritz has brought a lot of that fire. And that dog that we need. And the shooting has improved immensely. I mean, sometimes the percentages don't really show, but I feel like at least the shots are better. You know, like it's an open shot, or it's not a forced shot, or it's not a shot at the end of the shot clock because we got to get one up. So it's like I like what I'm seeing on offense, which was just completely missing there for like 9 games in a row, where it was like, what is going on out here? This is a mess. It's fun to win. I learned that Eddie House was a thing. I mean, I kind of knew about him. I remember him, but I'd forgotten about him. And now there he was again. So I'm sure we're going to talk about him in a minute, but it was something I learned. So I wrote it down. I've also learned that every time, they say every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. And I've always said that every time a Boston team loses, an angel orgasms. So thus, you're welcome, Angels, for the back-to-back victories over the Celtics. And then, the new dumbest play in NFL history when the Patriots threw the game away to the the Las Vegas Raiders. That play was just awful. And I know it's not basketball, but that play was ridiculously awful.
And that happened in this recent
It all happened in that same weekend. So a lot of Angels having a good time.
Let's go to Jizztown.
In the dance team off, the Atlanta team was back again. They tried to take back their title, but the Pacemates are too strong. Check them out on Instagram if you want to, fellas. The Pacemates, they're a good follow. And last thing I learned here is that, man, Argentina, please, please, please get more in your life than soccer.
That's so
I wish that for you.
I don't understand.
I just wish it for them. It seems like it's all they have.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like you're harassing your top star, not even letting them get home. Like, this happened over a week ago. Like, go back to your lives, but like their lives are soccer.
Yeah.
And it just, I wish for more than that for them. Because that's really all I know about Argentina. I know they have the blue and the white striped jersey. I didn't watch any of the World Cup, but I know what their jerseys look like. I mean, it's just, that's what they're known for.
So are the Magic
that's their chief export.
International soccer equivalent, the basketball equivalent of international Argentina jerseys? Because everyone knows our jerseys.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, we do other things. There's people here that live in America that don't know shit about basketball, right? And most of us don't care about soccer. Yeah. But like, the point is, I feel like everyone in that city loves soccer, and like all work was just canceled.
They did.
They're like, all work is just canceled. They're like, oh, we won some cup. We gotta nobody goes to work tomorrow. Like, come on.
Their beloved son finally got his crowning jewel. Messi now one of the greatest.
They did
of all
what they were
time.
supposed to do. That's like one of the top teams I would have bet on to win.
But they haven't though. Right. But they haven't in so many years. So it was disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. But then elation.
Let's move on to something that actually matters.
You brought it up.
I know, but I just wanted it to be a quick hit and then.
Well, I went to Argentina for the last World Cup. I was in the square celebrating and commiserating with 20,000 Argentinians.
Right.
So I have that connection.
I hope they have more in their life than soccer, so that next year, if they don't win, they're not all out in the street drinking.
Okay, let's talk about the Magic, what we really want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm done with football. All right, so we're now going into our social media roundup. This is the segment, ladies and gentlemen, where we scour the interwebs looking for your posts about our beloved franchise, the Orlando Magic. They might be hilarious, intriguing, downright just knee-slapping.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have some knee-slappers in this bunch.
Well, there's a couple Welk guys in there, so there's going to be a couple gems.
Can I lead with this one? Can we lead with some more Eddie House slander, please?
Go ahead.
So, Welk God hopping on the Brittany Griner release, which was in the zeitgeist of
Mhm.
American culture right now. And a quote from Brittany Griner, apparently here. They forced me to watch Eddie House highlights the entire time. It was torture beyond comprehension. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Brittany Griner detailing the cruel treatment while imprisoned in Russia.
Well, ironically, I would imagine her worst enemy probably had to watch it with her if she was watching it in a Russian prison, right? So at least that was happening. I don't remember watching him play, but I do remember him existing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize he had a ring until he posted it bragging, and it was like, cool brag. I don't remember you playing. Fine.
I do remember him because I was in Boston during the time that he was playing in Boston.
Sure.
And our team was killing it at that time. So I was going to a lot of games and definitely following both teams very closely. So I knew of Eddie House, and he was, kind of like the equivalent of like an Admiral Schofield end of bench guy.
Sure.
He would get in 8th man, 9th man type of thing.
Not a lot of domicile jerseys in the crowd is what you're saying. Nobody rocking the house.
No one wearing a ranch or a Tudor on their back. No, nothing like that at all.
Fair enough.
2.5 points. And then all of a sudden, as you say, he pops up to call our team trash.
Bizarre.
And then when that quote unquote trash team proves to him that, oh no, we're actually very competitive this year and we're only going to get better.
Yep.
Beats his squad twice.
Yeah. He doubles down.
He then, word of the year, right, Peach? Tries to gaslight the whole world by saying that we're coming at him and we're classless now, reaching out to him on social media when he's the one that started it all.
Here's the thing, man.
Make it make sense, Peach.
If some people drop into my DMs and ask about Argentina and we get into a scrum, I know why. I'm not going to turn around and tell them, oh, you guys are terrible and try to make it seem like it's their problem. You got to have some accountability there.
Yeah.
He is on a network representing, and to say that as an ex-player, there's a lot of like disrespect there, just even as an ex-player, let alone somebody who's supposed to be like a serious journalist. We're doing a fun podcast. I'm going to call people trash all the time. It's fun. Like that's what we do here.
Yeah.
Like if he had his own podcast and he says that, it's not as egregious as saying it on national television. Like, well, even if it's regional television in this
it's
case,
regional television.
But like,
but the brotherhood of it, like you're all former players. Him saying, "Oh, I'm speaking facts." You haven't spoken any facts,
right?
You just insulted the entire squad without having any real evidential ideas at all.
I call Boston garbage all the time. It's a garbage city, as a matter of fact. I think I said that before him.
Which it's not.
So
but Peach likes to say that. Lots of fantastic museums, things to do. Peach.
Yes, if you like history, go walk the trail there. What's it called?
Freedom Trail.
The Freedom Trail.
Yeah.
That is a good time.
Yeah.
Beyond that, just leave.
Well, I mean, Eddie House he's calling us classless, and Scalabrine tried to get him out of it on the broadcast the other day. He's like, "Oh, we're talking about the fans, not the players." No, Eddie House was talking about the players. He was talking about the team.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit better. If you want to have a banter, and you said my team's garbage, I say you're full of shit. You call me clueless. I'm saying, you played 4.5 minutes every game. Whatever. Tomato. That's fine. But he did call the team trash. We stood up for our players, for our team.
Right.
And
they stood up for themselves.
He couldn't handle the heat.
They stood up for themselves because they said that they heard it.
Yeah.
And it definitely factored in.
They all shared the tweet. It was hilarious.
To me, I'm feeling like that second wind is almost on him. And I saw a couple of memes about that too. And it's like, yeah, you just fired up a team that should be way overconfident going into a game where you're not going to start Jason Tatum. He's not going to play, and we just beat you. So now we're going to be overconfident. Instead, we won again.
Yeah. Right. Foolish.
Dumb.
He reminds me of like talking to one of like my 11 or 12-year-old boys at school, like not taking accountability and just trying to dodge everything. It's like, bro, what? Who are you? There's tape of it.
Yeah. Lean in if you're gonna just be that.
Mean, just be Boston, bro. That's what Boston's about too. Right. Like they'll be like, yeah, fuck you, dude. The fucking Magic of trash. Like what, kid? Come at me. Like just keep going. Let's make this happen. Let's make a rivalry. Let's not fuck around here.
It already exists in my mind.
Yes. 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 The rivalry begins. All right. I like it.
Ever since they dumped Big Baby on us. So mean.
All right. Let's go to the next Welt God, and then we'll move on from the man himself. Talking about dumping on, two guys.
Careful.
Jeff Weltgod has posted Franz and Paulo slapping 5 on Pornhub here.
Mm-hmm.
The title of this video is "Two Guys Score Repeatedly on Canadians." Talking about our back-to-back wins over the Toronto Raptors early in the win streak.
Yeah, you can all pretend that you've never seen this little setup before if you want. But
if you're riding, listening with your lady, maybe watching with your lady.
So yeah, the visual is really what is like. That's funny. You gotta just kind of you tip your hat and you go, yes, it's good.
When you're around, people are like, I don't get it. Right. What? Can someone explain this to me?
On a side note, Canadian women are tops, by the way. I think if I could choose women from one nation,
really,
it would be Canadian.
Really? You like them that pasty?
Well, they're not all pasty.
Well, I mean, if they're from Canada, if they're like truly
they have
French
Native
Canadian,
Americans and such up there.
Yeah, okay.
There's a mix of folks up there.
Sure. We're French Canadian. They would look like us. They'd be pasty like us.
Not necessarily, but potentially.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I'm saying, look, I've done the studies. This is why I'm the guy that's doing the dance team thing. The studies have already been done. The USA is in the top 10 for sure, but definitely Canada. I'm going number 1.
Wow.
No slight to any other countries.
Wow. I'm definitely going. I've got to go like a Latin American country or like Middle East. My girlfriend's Middle Eastern, so
I
love me some Arab women and some Latin women. Okay. Who are your favorite women? Put them in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. What's your favorite style of lady?
All right,
let's move on.
Yeah, sorry,
but anyways, yeah, we destroyed the Toronto Raptors in those games. That was fun. That was a nice coming out party.
Always good to get victories over teams where there's debate over players and everyone questioning Scotty Barnes. I'm tired of even talking about that topic, but it's very clear Scotty Barnes should not have been Rookie of the Year, and games like this continue to hammer that point home.
Right.
So enjoy your Rookie of the Year trophy. It'll probably be the only one you ever get. Well, the only trophy you ever get, because can't get the Rookie of the Year again.
Yeah, they're a team that's thinking about tearing it down now. A couple of teams ahead of us in the standings, Toronto being one of them.
We're almost like a tornado of death at this point. We kind of roll through town, and then teams are like, shit, maybe we're not good.
Yeah. We need to tear this down. The Magic are coming. We can't compete with these guys. That's right, you can't. But you know who does know that we can compete with anyone out there, Peach? South Dakotans.
Woo!
South Dakotans.
This is probably where the tornado got started.
South Dakotans, we cheer you.
Although, to be fair, this could be 2 people.
Right. The population of South Dakota is sparse. However, Fantasy Magic lets us know on Twitter, Magic fans in South Dakota holding it down, because this is from Basketball Reference. It's the most viewed team pages on Basketball Reference in each state this year.
Right.
And South Dakota is the only one that the Orlando Magic hold steady for.
It's impressive. I mean, obviously in Florida, you're not surprised to see the Heat get the victory there.
Yeah.
So you start to wonder, are the Magic going to get any state? And
I thought our influence in Connecticut, but we need to work harder, Peach.
Yeah, we're too close to the New York and the Bostons of the world
but we can do it.
To make a dent.
I think we can.
Plus, I don't use Basketball Reference.
Well, we'll have to start handing out cards or something. And Orlando Magic, I can't see the whole handle there, but it's got Mickey Mouse in it.
Orlando man.
South Dakota, my second favorite state now. I think. Well, no, actually, no, never mind.
I've never been to South Dakota, so I can't say, but I know they sell land there cheap. So if you're looking to, unless you want to become a lord or a lady, and then you got to get it from Scotland, but cheap land in South Dakota.
Why can't any state be like, buy $100 here, you'll be a lord? Who gives a shit?
Could, yeah. It seems like a pretty illegitimate thing, yeah.
I still don't know, but was it people from South Dakota who went to vacation in Orlando and then went back? I mean, that's kind of how we became Magic fans back in the day.
Well, isn't this a Mike Miller tie?
Oh,
because Mike Miller is from South Dakota.
Yeah.
So it's probably someone in the Miller household. Maybe that's where he runs his
Very good, Peach. Very good pickup. There's the Magic connection, and this is why you watch this show. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit more serious Orlando Magic talk now, Peach.
Okay.
This one is from Magic Nation CP on Instagram. You grab this one.
This account's been killing it lately. I was like 2 or 3 that I didn't select for today's post because it's too much show.
It's a really nice graphic. It's just kind of an informational graphic with a nice picture of Mo over a sleek looking background. It says the Magic won a first-round pick in exchange for Mo Bamba. This is coming from Jake Fisher. I mean, yeah, no shit though, right? Of course.
Yeah, I was coming at this like a little different because
we said the same thing about Terrence Ross. I mean, we say the same thing about everybody, and every team says the same thing about every aspect.
There's no way we should have got a first rounder for Terrence Ross. So I felt like that.
But we said it. You think you would? Get one
but we
Mo?
didn't get it either, right? Whose team is he still on? Ours,
right?
Because no one came with that. Because they're like,
no one's going to come with a
one.
first round pick for Mo Bamba.
Well, okay, listen, I'm going to tell you. I think they should. I don't think. Okay, Mo Bamba has been playing really well this season, right? So he's and it's been more consistent than in years past.
Yep.
Right. He's doing some big man shit and making the most of his minutes. I feel like and playing pretty well. And as a team with a 26th or 27th overall draft pick, are they getting a better player than Mo Bamba? I don't think so.
No.
Because I haven't seen a lot of successful draft picks from that range in the last few years. And so, therefore, I feel like he is worth a first-round pick. Is he worth the #1 overall pick? No, he is not. But none of those teams would trade for Mo Bamba. So it's going to be one of those teams that thinks that is going to be in the playoffs and wants like a big man off the bench.
Yeah.
Or someone is injured and they need someone to come in as a starter. And they would turn to Mo Bamba. I really think that this is a possibility. Whereas a lot of times when I see these and what we want, I'm always like, that's too gross an asking price. I think this is doable.
You know what, Peach? You've calmed my initially taciturn demeanor, and you're making me think a little bit more rationally here.
All right.
I pulled up the old basketball reference, just speaking of shout out South Dakota.
Oh, here we come.
I'm trying to, that's what we're trying to do over here. I'm trying my damnedest. And, in his last 8, as you said, Mo's been playing pretty well. He's got 8 points and 7.5 boards, which is great for him. 1.5 blocks. He's shooting, most importantly, probably about 41% from beyond the arc, which is a very attractive thing to teams, especially teams that like to space because they've got a dynamic guard or someone who can get in the paint and do some work.
Yep.
You think about a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they don't have any left. You're right. A good team with a late first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the flip side question to that is, do you want to give up Mo for a late first round pick?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really if we're trying to win big time this year. But if this is, and I don't think we are, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not really trying to make the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens, great. But I don't think that's the goal of this rebuild. So if that rebuild means getting another #1 and then we have 3 #1 picks, then you can start thinking about trading up. If we got stuck back in like a, 6th pick and like a 10th pick, and then we've got that 27th, and you start to pop those together.
Right.
Now maybe you can move up if there's somebody that they really like, which I think someone in our front office really likes someone, whether it's Scoot, whether it's, Amen Thompson. I feel like there's plenty of dudes up there that they're interested in.
Right.
And that could make us more of a player by having that as a trade piece. It's just food for thought. I mean,
it's an interesting conversation, and we're getting closer to the trade deadline, which I think is February 3rd.
I mean, we re-signed Mo to a 1-year deal?
2
year with 1 year with an option?
Correct.
So, do we want to pick up that option to have him stay on next year versus whatever we could do with that pick?
Well, that's the interesting thing. So, just to clarify, trade deadline is February 9th. So nice use of the cough key, Peach.
It loses the fun when you find it out, but yeah.
It's a 10-year, the team option, I believe, next year for $10.3 million, which is pretty affordable for your off the bench big.
Right.
And, like you said, that's a very tradable contract and an expiring deal.
Right.
of a good player who maybe the other team wants to take a risk on, see if they can re-sign or do a sign and trade. And that can all be a part of what you said about moving up or moving 2 picks and Mo Bamba to get either a player or to move up in the draft, depending on where things fall. And, you know,
inside right now as options, you got you got Wendell.
Yep.
You got Moritz.
Yes.
You got Bol, who's not really an inside guy, but he's inside.
Yeah, you
but
said inside.
But he's on defense. He's in there. He's blocking shots. He's doing inside stuff.
You're not wrong.
Now, assume, and I rarely do this on the show, but assume at some point that guy I've heard about, J.I., comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, it's getting pretty crowded down there.
Right.
So if someone's going to go and J.I. is healthy, you know, who of that 5 do you feel like is most movable?
Yeah.
And would get us something?
Yeah.
I love what he's bringing to the team this year. But at some point, you're going to have to get rid of some of these guys that are off the bench guys or guys that you really like to get in the team, the other guys that are going to, really get the flower growing to its capacity.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'd be interested what that trade would be with the way that Mo's been playing lately, man. I mean, there have been times in Mo's tenure in Orlando that it would have been a welcome sign to see something come across the ticker that Mo had moved on and the Magic had moved on and he was somewhere else and we had a pick or a player.
Right.
But honestly, the way he's been playing lately, those statistics that I brought up don't even really do it justice. He's been rolling to the hoop more, as you said, doing more big man shit, being more active. His shot is falling at that 41% clip. If he can be that player more consistently, and I think he's getting pretty used to this role now, that's a player that I like having on the squad. Especially at 10 million. Like if he's cool with that number-ish moving forward, if he wants like maybe 4 years next just to have a little bit of that security for his future and his family's future, I mean, then cool. But
a lot of hypothetical.
Yeah, a lot of hypothetical. But that's what we do, baby. It's the trade deadline talk. We talk about a bunch of shit that's never going to happen.
It lasted pretty long. I actually brought this one to the table. So
I can tell you're getting drowsy. We'll move on to some reality now.
I can't take no mo.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Well, this one should get you pumped up. You got this one from the Orlando Magic Instagram piece. It's the classic X-ray showing the dog inside.
No, that's not where it's from.
It's not from there. It's from magic.tracker.
Right. But it's made to look like it comes from the Orlando Magic.
It's saying Markelle Fultz got that dog in him. Been electric.
Look at him. They're in there.
So, like at first I was like, I don't know. Like Kel really hasn't been electric the whole time. He hasn't been consistently electric for me. And that's, I think, because I have a high expectation of the electricity that I expect to see coming from Markelle.
Yeah, you're looking for an electricity like you
that
need to
21 and 9 game.
Him actually putting up stats. But what he brings to the table is more than just his stats. It is a collective. And have we not won 7 of the last 8 games? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And who gets the ball in the clutch? Fultz.
Yeah.
And so who's making things happen? And even if he makes a mistake, like tries to throw the ball off a guy and misses it, then he recuperates by getting the steal in the next play.
Yeah.
It's Markelle Fultz. It's all an electricity that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. His presence in the lineup has been enough alone as it is. Like he doesn't come into the game like a cat who would be like, oh, I made a mistake. I'm getting out of here. I don't even like basketball. I'm leaving. He's a dog.
I'm not good.
So he comes back and he's like, ruh, ruh, ruh. I made a mistake. I'm going to get the ball on the next play. Ruh, 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 and gets it. So I just love what he's bringing. I thought it was funny because it does look like it's coming from the Magic and you're like, oh, an X-ray. So of course we're all like, wait a minute, who's hurt now? And then it's like, oh, he just got that dog in him.
Yeah.
This is a good injury update. This is we took an X-ray and we love what we see. It's positive for dog and we love it.
So while you'll agree with me that maybe Markelle hasn't been electric, at least to the level that we know that he can be this season, you're saying he's like a conductor of electricity who's always on the court there, just moving the electricity around.
I mean, that's what I said. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I think he is electric. He's a dynamic player. I love what he brings.
Is there someone else that's electric that you're thinking of?
No,
Okay.
not well. I mean, we've got a bunch of electric players. Franz, I mean,
Okay.
Moritz. We've got a bunch of the guys with the dog in them. Paulo's got the dog in him. He doesn't like to lose. You know, we've got a lot of guys with this mentality. I think that, you know, Markelle Fultz, I was going to look at, you know, some of his individual numbers, average in his last 9 games, you know, 13-ish points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That assist number is lower than I would have expected. Peach's eyes are glazing over, so I'm not going to talk about that. These are numbers that I expect to see go up. So when you said, oh, he's not electric because of the numbers, yeah, it is partly because of that. Because I do think that Markelle is a guy that can be getting easily every single night 15 to 20. And I think that his mid-range hasn't been where it was last year. Like, he's missing some of those kill spot shots that he normally makes. He's not shooting it at the percentage that I expect him to, and that I think that he will. To your point, though, in the past 2 weeks, pretty much since Markelle has been back and playing well, we've got the 6th best offensive rating in the league and the 7th best defensive rating in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And that's based on cleaning the glass stats.
Sure.
So
but
that shows me that he's the conductor of the electricity.
Sidebar.
Okay.
One of the things I think you and I have talked about, but maybe not on camera,
Yeah.
is that the way an assist is earned. A lot of our players seem to shoot well by having the ball in their hand first, right? It's step backs. It's creating space for themselves. You don't see a lot of guys coming off curls, catch and shoot successfully.
Yeah. Not
It's
a lot
catch
of
and drive,
Right. Catch and
but
drive.
not necessarily catch and shoot.
Right.
So I feel like that can hurt Fultz's numbers as far
A
as
little
getting
bit.
an assist.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he still didn't get them the ball in a position where
The
then they can
hockey
take it to
assist.
the next one.
if you will.
Yeah, but they don't keep track of that.
Right.
In basketball, and that's fine. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's part of what he brings that doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet.
Well, you know what they do track is potential assists, and those are coming later, Peach. So get excited.
Gross.
It's so good to have Markelle back. As he continues to get acclimated, everything you're talking about, Peach, I think it's just going to amplify. And the electricity is going to run
Nice.
everywhere.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm just throwing in electric words. I was actually Googling electricity terms. That's what helped me get conductor.
I don't know if we ever
Go.
talked about it on the show, but you know my nickname is the most electrifying man in ice entertainment.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do know
So I
that.
know a thing or two about it.
You've done this Google before. Electric words.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to Breadhead, a second cousin, one of our Patreons out there, with this hilarious post. He said, my life for the next month, and it's his alarms on his phone. 7 a.m. wake up is on. 7:02 is on. Vote for Paulo and Franz in the All-Star game. Every day, Peach. We need this level of dedication right now.
Okay.
Have you voted yet, Peach?
No.
Wow.
And if I vote, I'll vote once. And I'm not sure.
Wow.
If I only get to vote, do you only get to vote for 5 guys?
You get no East and West, just 5 guys.
Right.
each.
But
Yeah.
5 guys per conference.
Yep.
I don't know if I don't know if those guys will make it.
What?
I
What?
can't handle.
You're too honest. You're like
the
you're
way-
like I'm gonna do this like too honestly. I'm not gonna be a fan about it.
I cannot stand all-star voting in any league. It is just
Wow.
stupid.
You've touched a nerve.
It's so dumb that you would let people select who they think are all-stars because people don't know. Sometimes they select guys that don't belong in the game. So like, what are we doing? Like, give it to the guys who've deserved it. It should be voted on by like coaches or like, you know, people who are involved in the game and not just like fans who are like, I like ball, go to all-star game. Click, 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 click. Why do you get so many votes? You don't get multiple votes for anything else in
I
life.
voted for Bowl today.
But you shouldn't get to vote multiple times. You get one set of votes. That's why this ranking system's not the same.
The NBA wants you to download their app, Peach. They want you to go to NBA.com. They want you to see the ads. They want to charge people for the ads. This is capitalism, bro.
Whatever. But if you want to keep going every day, look, I love Breadhead, but like I this cannot be factual. I figure this is just a joke. Like, haha, yeah, no. Do not spend your time.
He probably doesn't
trying to
have
get-
the alarm, but he might be voting every day. A lot of people, I'm voting every day.
Do you get to vote just like once a day? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you would get multiple votes. Who are you?
I'm Kyle Langen, man. I have a podcast.
So
my
what?
cousin.
So you should get one set of votes. You vote for whoever you want. Then if you want to put all Magic players on
Okay.
there, that's fine.
All right.
It's just ridiculous, okay? Because
all
like
right, Peach, let's change
people
the
shouldn't be
conversation.
voting for people who are not.
Let's just talk
all-star
about
eligible.
this. Okay. So you don't think Franz and Paulo are all-stars this year?
I could consider giving them a vote, perhaps, but I don't think they're among the 5 best in the Eastern Conference right now, if we're being 100% honest.
Well,
I think next year is probably that window where they'll show up there. Because right now they're going to put those guys in that. These are 2 of the big stars they're going to have in their Rising Stars game.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have Paulo on the rookie team and Franz on the sophomore team. They want that, right?
Yes,
that's the way they write off the young guys. So a lot of the young guys aren't going to get in. Because I don't even know if they're counting all the votes that you guys are throwing in. I think it's just something they do to drive you to the website. I don't even believe in their system.
I don't doubt that.
Plus, I think you guys just vote for the starters.
Right.
And then they select all the
like
other
coaches
guys.
and players.
So like essentially every time you vote, it's almost like you're wasting a vote on someone that could actually start because, you know,
so
it doesn't necessarily put them in the game.
Let's look at this, Pish. I went to the NBA.com voting website. It's here. You can check it out. And the front court players, that's where Franz and Paulo would be. So here are they recommend players to you, which also is is a little sketchy, right? They're like, who did Nike pay the NBA? Like, how is this working? But anyways,
yeah, it's sketchy.
We've got Joel Embiid averaging 32.5 points.
Yep, he's in
10 boards. Giannis
in
32 points, 11 boards. Jason Tatum, 30 points, 8 rebounds.
Hard to keep him out of there.
Kevin Durant, 30 points, 6 and 5.
Wouldn't get my vote, but all right.
Pascal Siakam, 26,
he's 8 not getting a vote.
And 7. Julius Randle, 22 and 9.
No, thank you.
Kristaps Porzingis, 22 and 9. And then they have Paulo Banchero, their 8th recommendation.
Okay.
22.
8th recommendation in a thing that has 3 spots.
Correct.
There's definitely 5 guys that I'd put ahead of him right there.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not shitting on our own players. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like,
but I mean,
spare me your, we got to vote him in stuff.
Do you think that
they're not going to get enough nationally to start?
We're not talking about starters though. I'm talking about to the All-Star game. I'm talking about to the All-Star game. Do you think
he might get selected as one of the
that he could go, or Franz, probably more likely Paulo, just because
he might. But like I said, I think they're just going to be content with, well, he's going to be there this weekend because he'll be at the Rising Stars game.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they'll get out of putting him in there. But he has a shot. He has an outside shot at being a reserve.
And our team winning lately helps a lot. I mean, I think that would get him over Kristaps. Unfortunately, Pascal is still a little ahead of us in the standings, as are the Knicks with Julius Randle and all the other guys, Durant, Tatum, all those guys as well. But, next year, if our team is more up towards the top half of the Eastern Conference when this time comes around.
Very possible.
I think he could be a starter. He could be on the team this year. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe if you would vote, Pish.
No, see, my vote's not going to help. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. I get it. I'm just fucking with you now. I'm just fucking with you. Okay. All right.
It would make more sense if everyone voted for those top 3 guys that everyone wants in. Just get them out of the way. And now he only has to beat out 2 or 3 guys to be a reserve, right?
Yeah.
So do that. Actually vote for the guys who should be in the All-Star game.
Last one, Pish.
All right.
What's up, second cousins? Very excited to announce Court Cousins Night. Thursday, February 23rd, Pish and I will be going down to Orlando.
What?
Yes, to watch our Orlando Magic take on the Pistons. It's going to be great, Pish.
It's called Court Cousins Night?
Court Cousins Night.
Wow.
Yeah. We've got club level seats. We're doing some giveaways, maybe even potentially some signed stuff. And
then out of here.
And then after, it gets better.
All right.
After the game, we're going down on the court. We're cutting down the net, and we all get to take a little piece.
What? Like we did last time.
Exactly, man.
Wait on, I've got my little piece of net right here.
Wow.
This is from that game when the Bulls and it was a whole thing.
And we won.
Wow.
And we got to win again this time.
I had no idea about this. What else should I know? How do I get in?
Vivo.me/Court Cousins. That's where the tickets are. Get them now, ladies and gentlemen, so that we can make sure everyone's together. Yeah, and just see you down there.
I'm blown away. This is going to be fun.
Last one, Pish.
All right.
I want to get you off this topic, let you cool down a little bit. Towel off in a second. Another gem here from Breadhead. The Wagner Bros put on a blockbuster performance last night. Tuning in tomorrow for the sequel, the Warner Brothers logo with Franz and Moritz. I don't know what this must have been. What game would this have been? Probably Moritz's big game. When was that?
I mean, doesn't matter. They've both been playing well throughout this entire stretch. And Wagner Brother Pictures is bringing it to you. And it's great to see. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's awesome for them, right? Like they're brothers. They're getting to play at the highest level. They're finally winning games now. They're playing together. They're doing pick and roll shit. I mean, they're both yowing on people, which, I'm sorry, is a German hammer now. I'll take about that's my old dunking term on people. But
yowing?
Yeah, yowing.
I like that. Okay.
Yao Ming, he just used to dunk on people and just kind of he didn't mean to hurt their feelings. He was just bigger than them.
He just did as a byproduct.
Yeah, we're doing German hammers now, so it's got to be awesome for them, and it's good to see because they're two of the fiery guys on the team. I feel like
definitely
some of our emotional leaders. So as long as they're happy and they're having fun, everybody else kind of seems to feed off that.
Yeah, there was a moment in the Houston game last night when Moritz, we had a good play on defense. Then he hit a three. The Houston Rockets called a timeout to stop the bleeding. We got within 3 at that point, I think. And just, coming back to the bench, fired up, getting the guys going. It's that momentum swing. I bet Brett had made this one after the first Celtics game when we had Moritz going for 25 and Franz going for 19. I mean, Moritz 25-9 in that game. He's had some really impressive performances, been extremely consistent, 10 to 15 points every night on pretty steady efficiencies, not taking shots that he probably shouldn't.
Right.
He's shooting pretty well from beyond the arc. I want to bring that up in just a moment, but this is going to be, an interesting discussion. When Wendell comes back Friday, hopefully in the San Antonio game, What's going on with Moritz for you, buddy?
Well, I think Wendell is our starter, and I think Moritz then becomes our fire off the bench. But if for whatever reason Wendell's not gelling, I could see him being swapped out for Moritz, which I don't feel like that's something Coach Mose has done. Like if a guy's hot, you're hot. If you're playing well, you're in there. So, but it's Wendell's to have.
Would you have Moritz go to the bench, or would you have Moritz bump to the 4 and Bull go to the bench?
I mean, that's also a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the way they want to start the games, because I like the fire Moritz brings off the bench.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, that was definitely nice.
I like to see guys like him and Cole come off the bench who are like fiery and they're in it and they're interesting and they get in guys, shorts and they piss them off a little bit. That's the kind of intensity I want off the bench. But then eventually they can be in to close games for sure, which to me is equally as important, if not more, than starting the game. I'm really more concerned with who's going to be on the floor at the end. And with us, I think there's some room there for whoever's hot that day, whoever's feeling it, whoever's playing well. And that could always be Moritz Wagner.
Yeah, I just hope we get to see this for a lot longer. I'm looking up. I know Moritz's contract is short term. It's a 2-year, $3 million, $3.6 million. He's making $1.8 million this year.
Yeah, he's going to probably want to go into arbitration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he's gone.
So he's under contract. Next year, he's just a completely unrestricted free agent. So I hope that we can lock him up for something that he's happy with, that we can keep the Wagner brothers entertainment together.
Well, we can, but we need some of that money that you would want to give to Mo Bamba that we talked about earlier. So I think that's one of those. Who do you want?
Well, but then again, we heard that Mo Bamba, going back to that conversation, bought in. That's one of the reasons he did want to come back. Mm-hmm. So if he can buy in and we can, sell that image, let's have Mosley and Weltman. They really need to sell this to the guys. Hey, one less mil, you're still going to be set for life. Let's do this here. Let's do this here, man. You've been here since the beginning.
Sure.
Let's grow it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough sell. You'd have to have a really good PowerPoint presentation to talk me out of $1 million. I'll tell you that.
You wouldn't have to have a very good one to talk me out of $1 million if the difference is between $9 or $10 million. Personally, but that's me.
I don't know. I've never dealt with numbers like that, so I can't.
No, me neither. That's why, like,
situation.
The minute millions was involved, I'd be like, "Where do I sign? Is there going to be a check, or is it going to be one of those big checks? How do I deposit that? Where do I? Can I just? You going to give me an advance, or how's this work? Like, can I go buy a Ferrari now? But they gotta let me in? Do I need ID? Do I need like one of those rich people cards that they'll let me go in? It's like, I can afford things now. I don't
Yeah,
know how it
you
works.
need all that, I think. I don't know. I'm not an expert either.
I mean, I figure I'm going to pick this stuff up at some point now. I make a lot of ice for Greenwich kids.
Yeah.
So I figure at some point,
Mhm.
you know, they're going to explain how
Yeah.
being rich works to me.
Their wealthness and doucheness will rub.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll pretend I'm one of them, and then just I'll like wear some Westward Vines stuff and
Vineyard vines.
try to fit in with
Boat
them.
shoes. Yeah,
oh,
man.
Vineyard Vines.
You'll
that's
be
what it was.
good.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Have much to learn.
I hate hanging out with fake people like that. But anyways,
They're not fake. They're real. They mean it.
well, we got some real people coming in just a moment, ladies and
For
gentlemen.
sure.
Thank you so much for
So
all your
real.
posts on social media roundup. Check in with us at court_cousins on both Twitter and Instagram. Make our jobs easier. If you see something funny or interesting, throw us an @ on it. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll get on the show.
All right. Yeah, that's true. I've seen it happen.
Coming on the show next, though, Peach.
Yes.
Get excited. 6-man. Luke and Jonathan.
How many men?
Well, just 2.
Oh,
Yeah. 6-man podcast.
they're good.
It's a big deal.
I like them.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's have it.
Now, Peach, it's a very special time. We're welcoming into the studio, the virtual studio, OGs themselves, Luke and Jonathan of the 6-man. Welcome, gentlemen.
Wow, it's raucous in here today.
Yeah, the live studios just loves you guys. Loves you.
What's up, fellas? What's going on? How are you?
Good, good.
Better now. Better now that you're here. As we do anytime we have guests on the show, we care about you. You're a part, an integral part of this Orlando Magic community, and we want to know, how are you doing for the Chuma Are You OKK check-in? How you doing, gentlemen?
Doing pretty well. So the image that I chose for the Chuma Are You OKK segment here is, I think this was Media Day a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I forget. I think it might have been Cole Anthony or maybe Mo Bamba posted this picture of Chuma, then Okiki, now OKK, of him laying on the trainer's table wearing this Akatsuki headband from Naruto. And I chose this first because I just feel like everyone needs to see that image. I'm a big anime fan and I love Naruto. And yeah, it's just always awesome to feel like a shinobi, you know, feel really cool and sneaky and, capable. And our
right.
Orlando Magic are being a little bit sneaky lately, proving that they are capable in the NBA. It's been a lot of fun.
Ooh, I like how you tied that in. I had no context, and now I feel like I do know a little bit of a Shinobi.
I didn't even know how to pronounce those words when I've seen them.
Well, we gotta
now I
get you
know.
up on that for sure.
Naruto?
I'm trying to teach Luke.
It's Naruto. I
Very
believe.
Naruto?
reluctant, but
Okay.
Naruto. Yeah,
Naruto.
Naruto. Okay.
But you know, I'm white, so I just say Naruto. But
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
To each their own.
true.
So, Luke, how are you
I-
doing, sir, for the Chuma Are You OKK check-in?
I'm really glad to be a part of this, to be a part of the check-in, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I at first I was like, man, Chuma, there's not too many like action shots of him getting super animated.
Tell me
whatever
about
might
it.
be. It's a little bit of a grind. So I had to go over to Chuma's Instagram and go back a little bit. And I found this one here of him wearing like this red like jacket, like suit jacket with some glasses, like the shades on, and with the headband and just smiling. And it just seems like just such a pure, innocent picture. And it's me right now. I just feel so pure and innocent on this when we were on this win streak. We drop it the other night, but I still feel good, boys.
Hell yeah.
I still feel good. It's because that's 6 wins we didn't have before. So
Yeah, amen.
I'm so glad that we once had 5 total. Now we got 11. Look at us. Who would have thought? So that's my Chuma
Not
picture
me.
for the
Not me.
Are You
Yeah.
OKK?
Look at us. It's the first time they've had a win streak in the history of this show. Like
Yeah,
longer
that's
than
true.
2. So like we don't know what to do.
We're all pure and innocent, just like Luke.
Yeah, I wouldn't use those words to describe myself for probably over a decade now, but you'll have that.
Well, we have the innocence, the youthful vigor, the sneakiness, the capability. Peach, I know you wanted to chit chat, but I just want to get right into it.
Go into it. Just do your thing.
We are, with these gentlemen here, going to play a little starter, backup, and bench. So I will be presenting to these gentlemen 3 or 4 items, and they must rank them starter, backup, and bench from least to greatest.
Yes, if you will. If you're familiar with the game F, Marry, Kill, it is sort of like a clean version of that one. So if you're for new viewers who might be just tuning in,
That's good.
that's how starter backup bench works.
And the children in the car.
Yeah.
Explain it to them.
Nah, don't.
All right. So since we're having the 6-man podcast on Piche,
Sure.
I thought we had to start with some 6-man questions.
Yes, the only number that has been retired by the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, from these guys, from Luke and Jonathan.
From apparently these guys.
So the most valuable 6-man, gentlemen, I'm going to give you 4, so one is going to have to get brutally cut. Starter, backup, and bench. Who would you think is our most valuable 6-man? Is it Cole Anthony, Terrence Ross, Jalen Suggs, or Moritz Wagner? And just a little context, this is not what you think will happen. This is what you feel, what you want in that innocent heart of yours, that pure, capable Shinobi heart. Have we gone off the rails already?
Is that a thing? Do Shinobis have hearts?
So how you boys just want me to, I'll just go through it. All right.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So we won't take turns on who starters, right? We're just going to go, I'll just go through it. Right.
Yep. Talk us through it.
So my starter of these guys is the guy who has stepped up in the absence of Wendell Carter Jr. It is Moritz Wagner. He is my starter in this situation. Just because of the value we know that Dell brings to this group, and then what Wagner has been able to do in his absence. You experience the win streak in his absence with Wagner, playing pivotal minutes, doing incredible things. Always never have to question his heart either. And on top of that, when he's balling, it's just the perfect recipe. So my backup is Jalen Suggs. Really, the Chicago game just skyrocketed him up my list in general.
Interesting.
I'm putting Jalen there.
Okay.
T. Ross as my bench. And this is listen, boys. This is a lot to do with what you've done, right? So Wagner and the win streak. Suggs wins the game against Chicago. Terrence Ross, he's just been available. And that's what it comes down to.
The best ability is availability. The best ability is availability.
Wow.
And I don't know, man. That leaves Cole Anthony. So in this instance, Cole Anthony is getting cut. I just feel like there's a little bit of ball stopperish things happening when Cole has the ball. Pivotal moments. He's taken threes early in a shot clock that I feel like the ball could have been passed around a little bit. I don't know really what it is with him. I know that he's a certified chucker. He shoots 32% from 3. And Terrence Ross gets the nod ahead simply because of availability. And then Cole, he can do his thing. And when he gets hot, it's fun. But when he is not hot, it is not fun at all. So that he's getting cut.
I love it.
I am surprised at what I have just heard here. Not entirely surprised because we've had our own separate private conversations on some of these players. What I will say, although I do understand the frustration with Cole Anthony, I'm not ready to give up all the way on Cole Anthony, and I do think that this role is his best path forward to being a really solid pro, being the 6th man. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and start Cole Anthony because I do understand the frustration. I understand the concern, but I do feel like we've talked for a couple of seasons now about how Cole is like what you would want in a 6th man. And if he can find a way to get anywhere near the level of play that we saw at the beginning of last season, then he's perfect for that role. After that, I am going to go Moritz Wagner just because he's been incredible as of late. I don't know, and the reason he's like the 6th man backup for me is because I don't know if he's like really suited to be your very first guy off the bench. Like you want to bring somebody in that's got some offensive firepower. Okay, he's going to get things going for that bench unit. But he's just been great. So like as of late, I was just talking to Piche as we were kind of talking about obscure, Magic players and, owning their jerseys and whatnot. He's got the Robin Lopez. And I've got to say, like, Moritz Wagner is my next jersey purchase. I'm really going to be looking to make that move pretty soon here. And he's just ballsy, man. He's got moxie. He's got spunk.
Yes.
He just plays with such a tenacity and a chip on his shoulder. And even though I wouldn't classify him as a dirty player, he just gets underneath people's skin, and to me, that is so much fun.
Yep.
This is where you are going to be very surprised. My bench is going to be Terrence Ross, and I will get to why in just a second, why I am cutting Jalen Suggs. Wow. Terrence Ross has just been so great in that role for so long. He may not be as consistent as he once was, but you've seen it a couple of times this season already. At any time, he can sub into the game, get hot, and just change the dynamic of a quarter for you.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, Peach.
The reason I am cutting Jalen Suggs is because to me he's a starter, a actual starter, not a sixth man. I'd like to see.
Oh, I see what he did there
for this team long term. So that's why I would cut Jalen Suggs for my most valuable sixth man.
He found a loophole, Peach. I thought this shit was airtight.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Six Man Show says we should cut Cole and Suggs. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, let's make that the headline on this episode.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the thumbnail.
Right.
Well, a lot of people do have Moritz Wagner jerseys by accident, right? When we thought that Franz was the first jerseys pressed for Franz were 21. So there's a lot of Moritz jerseys out there, more so than you might think.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Where do you land on these? Are you feeling like
I agree with Jonathan. I agree with Jonathan, but I'm not gonna take the easy way out like he did. Find that loophole at the end. All right. My order is the same. Jalen's left out because of, again, we were talking about the best ability is availability. I'm a little worried about him, right? That he's had this ankle issue now. It's repeating. He is now the player in the dark that we've heard nothing about, that just kind of faded into the dark alleyway. And will he ever come out? We do not know. I'm a little bit worried about that. The guy goes 1,000 miles an hour. He's shown himself to be very capable when he's on the floor, but that as yet has been a difficult feat for him. So I'm going to respectfully leave him out of this. And I have Cole as my starter as well. Okay. And the reason I like this is I think he's got the most capability to do the things we need. He's a dynamic ball handler and scorer, has that punch off the bench. And the secondary reason that I like it is because I want to stagger Moritz a little bit more. I want Moritz coming in after, but Cole's going to get Franz. Franz going to come out, get a blow, have some rest. Moritz is going to go in, and then you have the Wagner brothers and the Deutschland playing more minutes together. So that's what I really want, you know.
It is fun to watch them together, for sure.
Yeah, and then Terrence Ross, just out of respect because I like his podcast, I don't know. I have not been super pleased with his minutes. On one of our reactions, I said, I'd rather see those minutes going to Caleb Houston, and then what does he do in the Hawks game? I think he dropped like 10 in the first quarter or something on my head. So and then respect, Terrence. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, sir. You can be on the bench of my six man.
Well, I agree with you guys on Moritz. I've got him as my starter because when I'm thinking about a six man, to me, if I'm not thinking about your guys' podcast, I'm thinking about this guy is so good that if the guy in that position goes down, he can fill in and we don't miss a beat. And right now, he's showing that with Wendell out. He's stepped in, and we've been winning. So it's kind of hard to ignore that right now. Otherwise, I would say Cole, who I have second here, because I feel like you do. Like, he's scoring pop off the bench that we need, and it's helpful. I have Suggs on the bench because I love when Suggs is good, but when Suggs is sporadic, it's just like, all right, bro, calm down. Like, he hit that shot against the Bulls to win that game, but earlier in the game, he made some dumb plays that like could have thrown that game away. So if he misses that shot at the end and he just goes rogue and takes it, I don't know if everybody feels the same way. But not that he made it. Not that it all comes down to one shot. I mean, I love that he's got the dog in him, and I feel like he's going to improve, which is why I want him to be on the bench and get better. T. Ross, I don't even really want him on the team anymore. I'm sick of watching him play. He bothers me. I'm sorry, he just bothers me. I can't. His lack of defense is just so weird, and then every once in a while he just gets hot for no reason, and he doesn't hit open shots. He has to be like super covered to hit them.
That is true.
Like, if our team is going to level up, we can't keep a guy in our roster because he has a pulse, because he has a podcast, because he's a veteran and he's been here for a long time, or because he's a nice guy. See also Chuma Okiki, KK.
Yeah.
So you got to get those guys out of the lineup and guys in that can produce or will improve to get better. And T. Ross, he already hit his ceiling a while ago. He's a mid-level player, and there's no room for him.
Wow. Can I add something here?
Please, like, can't end on that, Luke. Help me.
Okay, well, It's about Jalen Suggs. And I think that while I get frustrations with some decisions that he makes, Jalen Suggs leads the team in assists at 5.4 a game. Jalen Suggs leads the team in steals per game. Jalen Suggs is locking up defenders.
Yeah, agreed.
Offensive players, I should say. I just don't see how he gets cut from this.
Oh, I don't cut him.
I did. Tables. Luke Sylvia.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I think that maybe
you have turned a new leaf with Jalen Suggs. That is it's just delightful to hear this. I have to tell you,
dude. I
was so much time. No, you guys don't know. I spent so much time in our group chat arguing with Luke that Jalen Suggs was good, and the last month and a half, seeing this has just been the crowning achievement of my life.
Wow,
he's blossoming right before your eyes, Jonathan. The biggest Jalen Suggs. That I didn't expect though. I didn't expect that he would lead us in assists. I don't think that will be the way for long.
We didn't have point guards for a while, so I'm not that impressed with that one. But obviously his steals are there. His defense is there. That alone would be a reason to put him over T. Ross and keep him on the squad. He plays defense. He can play both sides
because he plays defense.
Right. Yeah. Cole is not great on D for sure, but Cole can just come in and at least he's a bucket. He can score.
Yeah.
And we need scoring off the bench. So what's that?
He's a 32% from 3 bucket.
Yeah.
You're
not wrong, Luke.
He's in spurts, and it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But at this point in time, man, I can't justify Cole over Jalen, to be honest. Statistically and what he's been able to do this year, I don't know.
But it's better post-game interviews? No? That doesn't count for anything? I thought, if we're counting T-Ross for having a podcast, you got to put something on that.
That is a factor.
I just couldn't dump on T-Ross 2 days in a row, man. 2 recordings in a row.
Okay.
I gave it to him last time. I had to give him something now.
I can. I'm sure he's a nice fella, but we're talking about trying to win and improve the squad here. So
speaking of nice fellas,
yep,
I know 3 really nice fellas.
Sure.
Luke, Jonathan, and Kevin.
Sure.
Also known as the 6-Man Podcast.
Yes.
Now, we just ranked our most valuable 6-man. Now, I want you to rank yourselves. Who is the most valuable 6-man? Starter, backup, and bench? Luke, Jonathan, or Kevin?
Wow.
Who's going first on this one? Did you draw straws?
Most valuable is Kevin Tucker. I don't think anybody would argue that. Kevin Tucker is definitely the most valuable 6-man, to the point where he didn't get off work the other night after Luke and I were done recording until 1 a.m. So I had to take a nap, set my alarm for 2 a.m. because Kevin handles the video. I usually upload all the audio stuff, but without Kevin, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't happen. And he covers up a lot of our mistakes in post-production. That's for sure. And dude just grinds, and we really, really love him. This is where I'm split. Who's gonna be my backup? No, I'm gonna get a little bit mushy here. It is the holiday season.
Yes.
My backup is gonna be Luke Sylvia because without Kevin, without Luke, I really couldn't do the show. A couple of years ago, around this time, actually, Luke, is it 3 years ago now? Around this time,
I joined in 2020 of March of 2020, so it's almost been 3 years.
Around this time 3 years ago, my original co-host left the show, so I was doing the show by myself for a hot minute, a la Philip Rossman Reich. If you guys have ever done that, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yes, it's not.
I found the perfect co-host at the right time with my boy Luke here, and then Jonathan sucks, so he's going to be on the bench.
All right.
So I'll go through this. I'll make it a little bit quick here. I'm starting Jonathan because without Jonathan, there's no 6-man show. I think this is a fairly feasible start, in my opinion. Kevin Tucker is right behind him though. Right?
Yeah.
Kevin Tucker is challenging Jonathan for minutes. Kevin's insane.
Yeah.
And we all know that.
Truly.
Like Jonathan said about Kevin, he's always doing whatever it takes at any hour of the day. The man sleeps maybe an hour a night.
Wow.
And Jonathan is equally insane, I would say. Jonathan is up. Jonathan will make sure the YouTube video publishes at 2 a.m. they're both nuts. They're the craziest. They're a crazy duo. I won't lie to you. I'm cutting myself here or benching myself, whatever it is. Cutting at this point.
No, you're still on the team.
No, you're still on squad,
I'm still on the team. I'm just riding the pine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm RJ Hampton, and I'm about to go to the G League. And that is not a knock on RJ Hampton.
No, he's handling it
way.
Professionally.
Yeah,
Nobody
respect.
Take it that way. But no, for me, I'm the guy on the group project who like does the least amount of work, but I still get 100.
Oh,
I show up, I record, I say, you guys need anything? If you do, you know where to find me. And then I'm in bed, and these guys are up for another like 4 or 5 hours. So they're truly just nutty. And I just show up, I talk for a few minutes, and then I'm out. So I'll put myself riding the pine.
okay.
Very humble. I expected. I thought that was coming.
No,
That's good to hear.
I'm completely serious.
Yeah.
Jonathan really should have put himself on the bench there. But yeah, no, for sure.
All right, so the same three of you. Now I've got the same question with your basketball skills. Can any of you actually hoop?
We don't know.
I like to think I'm.
Have you guys never played
nice for an
with each other?
average Joe? But
Okay.
no, I mean,
Not
Luke
together.
for the longest time lived in the cornfields of Nebraska.
True.
Kevin lives in Savannah, Georgia. You know, I've been near like the Tampa area. Luke and I are a little bit closer now. But no, that is one thing we have yet to do.
Interesting.
My understanding is I think Luke and I are probably pretty close from the stories that we've shared. Kevin will let
I'm
you
the
know.
greatest
He's like,
player in the world from the stories that I share. To be fair, like,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know
the
about
stories, the stories are what you make them. So like, I don't know.
Well, I was honest with my stories. I don't know about you. I can't speak for you. But Kevin has very much made it clear he's like a hustle and rebound kind of guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is very
He's a
valuable.
Kevon.
You need those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Kevin is the Moritz Wagner, I think.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing player
You know.
comparisons. This is good.
Yeah. All right. That was really just to get some props for Kevin Tucker. Producer
Yeah, well,
Kev,
I'm
you
glad
know,
he got
that's-
some props. I also was curious about their basketball skills. It would be cool to like get a bunch of the community together for a game at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out
We're
there.
trying
It's
to
just an idea.
orchestrate that. It's difficult. When we were at Media Day this year, we were hearing all these awesome stories of during the 2009 finals. Like Dan Savage was playing basketball with like Chris Broussard and like, you know, some of the other guys from like ESPN. They had like media runs.
Yeah.
We're like, well, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get it going. And we've had, you know, some fleeting conversations about that over the couple of months, but I would absolutely love to do that sometime.
Dude, let it. The Court Cousins will fly down. We
That
got
will
full
do it.
unis. We're ready to go.
Yeah, even if we can't play and we're stuck on the bench in this scenario, I will videotape it and I will cover it. I will vlog it.
If you guys are flying, you gotta put in some minutes. Gotta put in
Peach,
some minutes.
I
Nice.
have to ask you, Peach.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Yeah, so I knew it. You're a large man.
Yes.
Are you like by the average American height? Like you're a large man.
Yes.
Are you absolutely just bodying dudes in the post?
Well, yeah, in Vermont, when you're 6'4", you're a center. So I grew up with a lot of post moves, a lot of power forward game, very Horace
Oh, yeah.
Grant like.
Oh yeah. You can tell by the old man segments.
Not
what
a
he cares about.
fantastic shooter, but scrappy guy that's going to rebound and play D.
Oh yeah, you'll box out, follow shots.
Yep.
Make
But
good
then the
passes.
problem is once I got to playing against other guys who were centers and they're 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", I was
didn't
like,
go so
oh,
hot.
wait, this is not good. Yeah, I should have been the guard.
If we're doing
probably.
reverse comparisons, your reverse comparison is Mo Bamba. So that's what you're telling me.
Oh,
Dude,
Luke, that's
I
a
would
low
do
blow.
more with Mo Bamba's frame than Mo Bamba does.
Well, he's doing
although
more,
not lately.
banging in
He's
the
been
post.
doing well.
He's doing
But
more
you can't
big man
shoot.
shit. We're proud of him. We're proud of Mo.
Mo's probably a better shooter than I am.
No, for sure. That's why I said you said you can't shoot. He can shoot. You said
Oh,
that you were
so
in the
reverse.
post. He's not in the post.
Oh,
If he
okay.
is, he's missing.
He's you in the
little
upside
bunnies.
down world.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
I see this
Yeah, it's a
comparison.
reverse comparison.
All right. Yeah, you know what? You're right. He's got a good head of hair.
You're bald.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah.
you're onto something here.
Okay. All right.
We got to get Panini to make those cards. They always make the cards where players are compared that are alike, but they never do ones where they're not alike.
It's a new concept.
Yeah.
All right. So this one wasn't on the sheet that we sent you over, but
It's too fun not to do.
yeah, I have to do it real quick, and we'll see what happens. You guys have babies. I don't have a baby, as my girlfriend likes to remind me frequently.
Ooh,
But I want to know who is the biggest baby that we've played against, starter, backup, and bench. Trey, what's his name?
Young?
That's the one. Trey Young, Luka Doncic, or Al Horford.
Or if you can think of a bigger one that's not named.
Throw it in.
Do you want to go first, Jonathan, or you want me to go first?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Biggest baby, it's Luka for me.
Yeah.
Luka is just notably a huge baby, and especially when he plays the Magic, when he's playing your team, you see it. It's every call. The kid's amazing. Like, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he is the biggest baby to me. Actually, can I get a late substitution here for biggest baby?
Yes.
We'll give it to him.
Okay. All right. Late substitution here. Eddie House.
Okay.
That's the biggest baby right there. He's a baby. He's the biggest baby. I listen, man. He is just. We went on a rant on our most recent episode.
Okay, check it out. Plug.
I don't want to reiterate here, but essentially Eddie House, I could go on for hours and hours. He talked about how, the city of Orlando is the fan base is classless and all of these things. They wouldn't say this to my face coming to me on social media like that. Eddie House wouldn't say it to Paolo Banchero's face. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie House wouldn't call the Magic garbage to his face. So it's just like, Eddie, why are we being a hypocrite, bud? Right. It just doesn't make sense. And then he flashes his rings and his jersey, and it's like, you averaged 2.5 points in the postseason. When do you guys won that ring? So I don't want to hear about it. Talk about the guy doing the least amount of work on the group project and getting 100%.
Hey,
so Eddie House, number one biggest baby. And then if I just want to list the rest of this list, the rest of it doesn't even matter at this point for me. Luka, Trey, and then Al Horford. He's a Gator. I have a soft spot for him. Even though he was, arguing his ejection, whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, that's my order.
All right,
Are you in agreement, Jonathan?
No, for me, it's a little bit different. I feel like I've said my piece on Eddie House.
That's in the past for you.
Of hearing and seeing his green screen and all that kind of stuff. For me, the biggest baby, and maybe this is just recency bias because we played them last night, but it's Trey Young. Like Luka is a massive baby, and then it kills me that he just cries and cries and cries after every play. But at times, because he is very physically imposing as a point guard, I feel like sometimes it's warranted. With Trey Young, you can't even breathe on the kid because he's so tiny, he's so slight. If you look the wrong way at him, it's a foul and he's at the free throw line. He's not a kid that is ever looking for any kind of contact, but just still finds a way to cry after every single play, the entire game. After that, it would probably be Luka for me because of some of the reasons that I mentioned a moment ago. And the bench for me is going to be Al Horford because Al Horford, even though it was incredibly dirty, at least he had the balls to elbow Mo in the balls. At least he tried to do something about it other than just cry.
Right.
My honorable mention, however, is Nick Nurse. I've never seen a coach complain and cry after every single possession, offensive and defensive. It's like every time the ref passes him coming or going, he's got something to cry and complain about. I've never seen a more – I'm sure he's a great guy personally, but his demeanor as he's coaching his team, I've never seen a more unlikable coach in my 29 years on this planet.
That's a good pull. I noticed when we were playing that.
While we're in there, animated. Screw Kyle Lowry too.
Yeah. Cue up the Mortal Kombat. Finish him before he says that line.
I will. Yeah, are we going to weigh in on this one? I would agree.
I agree with these guys.
I think my number one is Luka. I never seen someone jump up and down like a petulant child, literally slapping his thighs to not get a call. That was crazy. I couldn't tell if I was watching a basketball game or like a hardcore porno as much as Trey was moaning and freaking groaning every time he got hit as he was oh my God. It was every single freaking play.
I know you heard me watching the game the other day and you were like, is that guy just watching porn up
I was
there?
Like,
and it's just,
Peach, turn it down.
It's just Trey Young.
Yeah, and I mean Al Horford, I don't know. He's not a baby, I don't think. I think he just made a a bonehead.
No, I usually think of him
move.
as kind of a man. You know, like I wouldn't fuck with Al Horford respectfully either.
Yeah.
So this was two Rams just going bam, just coming together. But like, I want to know what was said. I feel like something must have been said to spark that elbow because it seemed kind of out of the blue.
Will Moritz ever tell us what went down? Al Horford.
If you guys get a face-to-face with Moritz, that would be my first question. What'd you say to Al?
My guess would be he was just doing what he does every night.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he was doing anything out of the ordinary, just being Moritz Wagner, and that's why other teams hate him and we love him.
Right.
And speaking of Kyle Lowry, he must have done something incredibly egregious. Just now as we're recording, I think he heard me mention him. He's like, I have to do a dirtbag thing because my brother-in-law just texted me Kyle Lowry's a dirtbag. So he must have done something crazy.
Look at that.
Right on cue.
Breaking
Scumbags
news.
can't help but be scumbags.
Dirtbag is going to dirtbag.
Yep.
That's what the saying is.
All right, this is the holiday episode. Peach, you have your toque on. I've got my holiday magic sweater on.
This toque isn't really at all holiday
I'm feeling
related,
good.
but
It's a toque. It's a wintry thing.
Sure.
Okay. Can I live? Can I breathe? Jesus Christ over here. Every fucking word I say. Anyway, it's the holiday episode, as I was said, family love, right?
Yeah.
And at the holiday, sometimes you might play a little prank on someone, put some coal in their stocking for being a bad boy. Well, you know.
Not Cole Anthony, by the way.
No. I'm not talking about coal.
Although he
I'm
would
talking
fit
about
into
coal.
most normal stockings.
So, who is getting your coal this Christmas season? I'm giving you 3 things. They're not all people. NBA League Pass, Dylan Murphy, who's our assistant coach who handles replays, or the City Edition jerseys, starter, backup, and bench.
Dylan Murphy also leads the team in 5-head. For keeping track of those
man.
stats.
I know
nothing to you.
You've had some stuff with the hair. I'm starting to have the receding hairline. The hair jokes they hit different these days with me. But yeah, you can definitely spot if you're like up in the nosebleeds, like sitting behind the Magic's bench. You can spot Dylan Murphy from a mile away. You just look for that bald spot, and there he is.
Just let it go, man. Shave it off. Join the club.
Don't review. Don't challenge, Dylan.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
For me, who's getting the coal? My starter, NBA League Pass.
Finish
NBA League
that.
Pass just sucks.
Yeah.
There's a favorite producer of a podcast that I frequent from time to time. He'll go unnamed. He and I go back and forth about League Pass all the time because he's used League Pass religiously for years and years and years. Since he hasn't lived in Orlando, and to me, it's like outside of the app on your phone, it doesn't work for anything. If I try to watch it on my PlayStation, if I try to log in from my computer, from my PC here,
Oh, man.
even NBA League Pass support can't figure out what's wrong with my account and why I can't log in from Google freaking Chrome. If I try to watch League Pass
Preaching
on
to the
Apple
choir.
TV, one of the best-selling streaming devices in all of the earth,
Amen.
they can't get it to work on an Apple TV. And if you Google League Pass on any given night, it's not, I love League Pass so much. Thank God for League Pass. It's League Pass sucks. League Pass is
Preach.
garbage. League Pass doesn't work.
Preach.
You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Figure it the hell out.
Yes.
We're just trying to give you our money and watch the games. And you're
Yes.
happy to take our money. You don't let us watch the games, League Pass.
I'm never going to tweet at them again. I do it all the time, but I'm just going to try to
clip
cut this
this.
rant.
We're going
down,
to cut
put that
this
in
and
there.
just send it. Yeah.
There's
So
a
that's
number
my
of problems
starter.
every time.
Okay.
My backup is going to be Dylan Murphy. We all feel like there could have been more challenges. I feel like they're changing the challenge rules from year to year now. I don't even feel like I'm totally clear on them. Last night, the Paolo Banchero foul on DeJounte Murray was absolutely a foul. Got a little bit too close.
You can't
But
challenge
if
it.
you were able to challenge in that moment, you got to give up the challenge. Now, I don't know what's changed. Like I said, they change it every year, what you can and cannot challenge in the last 2 minutes. Certain things have to go to a review now. I know Dylan been catching a lot of flack from Magic fans, but I do feel like most of the time when he hits that buzzer, we win that challenge. So he doesn't use it as much as I would like, but when he does, he's pretty efficient. So I give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. And then who's getting the coal? My bench is going to be the City Edition jerseys because I actually like them. I think it's a little bit of a nice twist. Everybody complains that our jerseys are so boring or they're not great. Last year's I thought were absolutely terrible. If you all feel differently, feel free to, but I thought they were terrible. I like the font, leaning into that kind of medieval-ist, the kingdom on the rise, that catchphrase. If we're not going to lean into the Magic or the Magic Kingdom or whatever, why are we named the Magic? We're just a team that has blue and white and silver with a star in the logo. If you're not going to lean into the name,
right,
you're just the Orlando Stars or Orlando basketball logo, whatever you want to be.
Big night, this guy.
I really like it. I don't love the navy blue. I will say that. Overall, I really like them, and I love the City Edition court.
Okay.
All right. It is kind of weird that we've got this far without ever seeing an overturned hat with like a bunny coming out of it.
Right.
Like, let's be blessed that we haven't got to that point.
Hey, the more the better to me. Let's get cheesy.
More Magic. You want more kingdoms. We need castles. We need cavalry. We need wizards.
If we're doing a kingdom thing and they had the dark blue, because that's my biggest beef with it, why didn't they choose stuff's green and just get weird with it? Or
fair.
I don't know.
It
the dark
makes just as much sense as the navy blue.
So where's the kingdom jersey? Why don't you go next, Pish, and then we'll kick it to Luke.
Oh, okay. Whoa, you're throwing me a curveball.
Well,
there.
You're talking about the jerseys already. Where is it for you? Is it gonna be on?
It's number one for me because me, I'm a big jersey guy. Look, I have a bunch of these, and these are bland as shit, right? So I got these, but I'm not going to be getting one of those until they fix it. But I do like the idea of the kingdom. The dark blue really is what bumps me. I just had an argument with my bosses today, as a matter of fact, because we have gear that's black and blue, and they expect us to wear it together. And I'm like, nope, I won't. I don't care if I'm out of uniform. I'm not going to do it. I got standards.
He's a big matcher.
So next for me would be the NBA League Pass. It's just upsetting how many issues there are with it. I do get it to work on my old laptop on Microsoft Edge, and it works perfectly.
VCR.
Yeah, that's it.
That's about it. But you have to hold it just so and make sure you get the right angle. Otherwise, it doesn't work well. I miss seeing the in-arena stuff. And now lately we've been getting cited with commercials. And that's what's pissing me off.
That's ridiculous because we pay for the service.
You pay for the service, and I get to watch it. So I don't want to see it. And then last would be Dylan Murphy. Yeah, I'm not wild about how often they're using these replays or why they're not. I know that last night I wouldn't have challenged that because they wanted to keep their timeout. And then if they lose it, they lose the timeout. So we don't get to draw some sort of attempt in that last.
Can't advance the ball.
But there's a lot of times when they don't do anything and you'll see a play and it's I think maybe they should look at it. It doesn't even look like he's moving, right? He's just sitting there. And it's could you at least make it look like you're looking at it or someone's talking to you? Grab the ear and be like,
to be reassured.
Okay, they're talking. Yeah, just if they've labeled you as this guy and it's not going fantastic and it's been questioned, so just make it look like you're doing something. Little effort.
Fake it till you make it, Dylan.
Sit next to Moritz on the bench. He'll show you how to put a little of that dog in there. Jalen Suggs doesn't do anything. Have him help you.
What do you think, Luke? What's your starter, backup, and bench? Who's getting the call?
All right, so Dylan Murphy's getting the call. Like Jonathan said, he is somewhat efficient, but also, as he alluded to, he just doesn't use it very much. I get it situationally. You don't want to lose that timeout, whatever it might be, but you've got it in front of you. Let's just cycle that thing back and let's take a look. Like P said, it doesn't even look sometimes like he's doing much. So give me, and the reason that it's not even that I'm super upset about Dylan Murphy. It's just that the other two on the list, I don't have an issue with. I don't use League Pass.
Oh, okay.
So that's
lucky you.
That's
rub it in.
Well, listen. If the authorities are listening or watching, I'm not a stream guy. But I just only watch the Magic, and I get it with Bally. Anyway, and then the City Edition jersey. Listen, guys, I'm wearing it right now. All right, I'm wearing it right now.
It looks good on you.
Though I appreciate that. The one thing that okay, here's another thing. I really appreciate. It's a total sidebar. That we have this Disney logo that is good on any jersey.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You can put it on any jersey. What is it? OKC? They have the ugliest. Is it
Loves
or something like that?
Yeah, Loves.
They got hearts all over it. Yeah.
Is awful.
Well, it's meant for a truck stop.
Out of that.
So
they got to get out of it because their jerseys, they literally can look bad because of the patch, because of the logo. Anyway, so that's kudos to the Magic and Disney for doing that and having such a neutral logo. And then my issue with the jersey, I should say, was the font. The font reminded me of like New Orleans.
Yeah.
And when we saw it, that's what it reminded me of right off the bat. That was my biggest qualm about it.
Yeah.
But then once they rolled out the video and they did the Kingdom on the Rise thing, I was like, okay. I can appreciate it. Jonathan, that was like his point too, was like, no, they're leading into the magic and all this stuff. I was like, all right, I'll get on board. So, but now it's really grown on me.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it out and about. I have my own. You see it on the players. It's not bad to me. The Navy, it's okay because it's not orange. It's getting the benefit. It's getting the benefit because it came after a terrible jersey and a terrible
so much orange slander today. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah, I feel a little insulted with the. I can't get out.
Can
of
I
it.
quickly ask? Was that the best orange jersey we had last year of the three? In your opinion?
To me, it was not.
It was not.
But it wasn't the worst. I do think the first orange jersey that we had was the worst. Like just the gray and then the ORL across. Like that one sucked.
Orla?
And like the white jersey with the orange to me was really nice.
Better. Okay. All right. Just judging to see where you're at on orange. I selected my football team as a youth purely based on the fact that they wore orange, and that's why I like the Denver Broncos.
Orange itself, I don't hate, but I just, man, I don't think they got it right.
Thanks for walking that back. It makes me feel better. I appreciate that.
Are we talking about your hair?
Yeah. Well, or my pubes.
Dude,
I mean, wherever you want.
We could, awesome.
We could talk about all of it. Anyway.
Did you want to check in with your who's getting the coal here?
Well,
the only one who's not
the league pass is getting the coal for me.
Yeah.
I am so freaking infuriated with this product right now. There was no ads before. They just threw those in. Why am I paying for the service? I'm paying like $200 a year. I thought that meant no ads. When I oftentimes I'll try to watch the game a little behind so that I don't have to watch commercials. And they have no option to just click into it and start from beginning. It should be so easy, but I click into it and I can't tell you how many freaking times I've seen the score in the second or third quarter when I'm just trying to not watch commercials.
Yep.
And that is so freaking infuriating.
I've been there. One of us usually has to look. See
I'm like,
score,
look away.
and...
I'm trying to just look out of my peripheral, not actually look at the bottom of the screen. Don't look.
See, on the computer, they do allow you to block the things, but on the
infuriating. Next, I'll put the City Edition jerseys. I don't love them, but I do love where they're going with it, as you guys said.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they just brought that navy blue and made it our classic,
I think I'd be more on board.
Royal lighter blue, I'd be more on board with it, so you could see it. But I do love the concept. Total, nerd, Lord of the Rings, let's go, dragon fuckers, that series, you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
I'm into that. So I'm with it. I'm with all that stuff. That's gonna be good.
Close your ears, bro. Close your ears.
And then
we're gonna beep this out in post.
Yeah, Dylan Murphy. I mean, I don't want to pile on the guy. He's been getting better. We've won a couple lately, so maybe much like the whole team, he's a kingdom on the rise. Maybe he's a knight on the rise. So
see if now, as far as I know, the only thing I've heard attached to Dylan Murphy is this. If you could tell me that he was also like the hydration general and he like puts together the Gatorade or something, then that's cool. Maybe he's busy doing that other stuff and he can't think about, were we supposed to challenge? Sorry, I was busy doing all these other things. But I haven't heard what the other things are.
Yeah, well, that would be helpful. Maybe Mosley can clarify.
This is probably some of the information the Magic doesn't want to share.
In like practice and like game planning. I hope he's not just like at practice, like with a tablet. Like, you want me to challenge that last call? Like, no, but.
Or maybe he should be. He should practice too.
Maybe he should practice doing that. Yeah, maybe. You got a good point.
What do I want to say? I want to say something nice and heartfelt to these guys.
Okay.
They took the time out of their day. They got families.
Right.
They're the real OGs. I've been listening and watching their stuff for a while.
Sure.
They're always inspiring us to keep doing better.
Yeah.
They like host events in person so Magic people can make connections and make real genuine friendships.
Right.
I just can't think about the right way to like tell them all that.
You just did it.
Oh, guys, it's been such a pleasure to have you on, man. You guys rock. I'm so grateful for everything you do for the community, for everything you've done for us. That's not talked about, but these guys have always extended an olive branch and asked if we needed help and been a support. So It really means the world to us to come into this Magic community and to be greeted by gentlemen such as yourselves. So thank you so much, and thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
guys.
the Magic Together hashtag like really comes through when you see, especially this podcast community, which I thought was going to be small when we started this thing. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought. But you guys are two of the kingpins that kind of lead the fray.
leaders,
And it's been
yes.
cool to watch you guys grow as you've been going on. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today is I've seen just in the short time I've been watching, like the past year or so, things have really taken off for you. What was your favorite takeoff moment? Like you've been to media day and you've done a show live at the arena. Like which moment was it that really for you was like, holy crap?
That's a good
seems
question.
like there's so
Peach.
many.
Is this another starter backup and bench?
It can be if you want.
Well, first thing that I like to say is you're making us blush. We really, really appreciate, the kind words. We just really love like what we're doing, and ultimately we just like really love being a part of the community, and it's a lot of fun. I always just tell people like yeah, we get the chance to do some really crazy stuff that I never would have dreamed is possible. But I just love the team and our fans so much. I'm just really happy to be along for the ride. And
Hell yeah.
you guys are also like a big part of the Magic community, and especially like the Magic podcast community. You guys do a fantastic job. You guys are absolutely hilarious. You guys, I don't want to say like the content itself has improved. Not that it hasn't, but you guys were always great. But it's just like you guys are always like upping the ante on your show, and it's really been a lot of fun to follow, and really, really impressive. So, you guys say nice things about us. I wanted to say some nice things about you.
Oh, thank you.
I would say
Sure.
it's kind of I can't separate just the draft season like in its totality, because it was like we set up the draft party like we did in the 2021 season where we ended up with the 5th and 8th pick. Everyone was pissed off. It's like, oh, this draft party sucks, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, all right, we have the best odds again. Like we got to try to run this back. So we just set that up. We just wanted to run it back and do what we did the year before. And somehow the Magic got wind of what we were doing, and them kind of wanting to be a part of that. We were like, oh my, like, are you serious? Like, are you sure about this? Like, you guys really want to put your name on what we're about to do here?
Wow. Yeah.
So
That's
and
awesome,
then
man.
just the jubilation, like the sheer joy of winning the number 1 overall pick. It just made it one of the best nights of my life. And then the drafting the number 1 overall pick, recording at Amway, and then like just by luck getting Jalen Suggs on the show that night. Like, I don't know that
was crazy.
will ever be able to top that.
Yeah.
And, I don't say that to like brag or anything. Like, I know how fortunate, like Luke and I, we've gotten to do things that most Magic fans would kill to be able to do. And we will never take that kind of stuff for granted. So that's why it is such a big deal for us that week in and week out, when people want to listen and talk about their team, we're there like consistently. We're giving it our all. We're doing the best job that we can, because like it just means the world to us, and it's so much fun, honestly.
Amazing. I was so jealous I wasn't at that party. I'm sorry, Luke.
No,
That looked freaking amazing. Thank you guys for doing that. That was awesome. What about you, Luke?
That's
Depends on what happens the rest of the way here. We might have another one. So, find out for the next one.
I told Jonathan that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, I really hope that we don't have to do another lottery party this year. Not for the sake of like, the party itself is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just really don't know if I can take another like leading up to that moment. And getting to that night. And it's just, I couldn't do it. So
I don't want to ruin the vibe here, but you can still do it for the Bulls pick.
Oh, that's true.
We don't want it to be in the
That's
top
true.
4, right?
Oh,
So
that is very true. Peach.
Yeah.
start planning now.
we might be able to. We'd do something. Man, that's a good idea. No, so now that Jonathan pretty much took up all of the great takeoff moments, I think for me, it has been the relationship with players is the craziest thing to me. Like these guys that like, you grow up like idolizing these players on your favorite team, and then to have interactions with them, whether it be like, personal or on a podcast,
Right.
It's crazy to me. Like that stuff is nuts. Jonathan out, obviously talking about Jalen Suggs and getting him on the show, like just the players trusting us enough to come on the show. They know about the show. Terrence Ross on Media Day posting a boomerang, I think, or maybe a video, I can't remember, with Jonathan in the background and just tagging at Six Man Show. We hadn't even had Terrence on the podcast.
Wow.
And so something like that, I was like, man, that just insane to me that they trust us enough to put like their likeness and their themselves intertwined with our show and to be there. It's just truly it's crazy to me.
Oh, I live vicariously through you guys. Whenever I see you with one of them, we're always like, oh
yeah. It makes me want to drop less F-bombs.
They might like
Never
that
change.
more.
Yeah, okay.
No,
all right, I'll
they
try
might
not
like
to.
that more.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you soon. Everyone, make sure to check out Six Man Podcast. I'm sure you already are. All the socials.
if you're not, what are you doing? Are you even a fan?
No,
Bro.
no, that would be a casual piece. That's what the kids say now.
Uber casual.
All right, guys. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Peach. Now we are going into the Court Cousins Championship. We do 4 wagers, 2 each, every single episode. After 2 episodes, we decide who gets to keep that beautiful belt for the next month. We'll run down our wagers from last round, sir. Peach, you had follow that shot, out rebounding opponents. You set the line at 2.5 games. I was pessimistic after that in that losing streak, man. And I took the under. Thankfully, we rebounded well. How many of those did we win?
I believe it was 5.
5
5 of 7. I was going to say after the
Hell
first 3
yeah.
games, I had this one, and I was like, yes.
I then set a Moritz line of 10.5 points. You took the under. You had no faith in Wagner. You thought Wendell was coming back.
Yeah, it wasn't not faith in Moritz.
Right.
It was I thought Wendell would be back, and then he'd have reduced minutes and therefore put up some less points. But
Okay, but he did, and I won that. He's been playing great.
totally fine.
X marks the spot. Solve for X. 21.5 points and assists. I thought that was a little high. I took the under. It did end up being a little high, unfortunately.
Yeah, he ended up with 18.9.
Yeah.
He only had 14 in that last game, which really killed him.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
he
what I
a
was
lot
talking
closer
about.
before. But
Not as electric as he can be. There's still more current to be had with that man.
I was trying to play off your love for Fultz with that one. I thought for sure you'd bet on his over, and I would just cruise to a low victory. So it didn't work out.
You didn't lure me. Let's see if you can tonight. And then the last one from last episode, Paulo, 20-point games. Well, he averaged 20, and he did. Thankfully, you won that one.
22.1 he had over the stretch. He had
Nice.
17.8 going in, which is why you then said, can he average at least 20? Made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Put up 3 20s back to back, by the way, and we got to be the subject of is this anything? It was a really weird one, but it is weird. He scored 20 consecutively, 3 straight games. But yeah, I felt pretty good about that. He's definitely becoming our number 1 scoring option for a reason, and even on a bad night, he puts up 20. So I felt comfortable with that one. So 2-2.
It is comfortable. You won't get that line again, that's for sure.
No, I won't.
All right, so we're going in 2-2, but I do have to take 3-1 because Peach has the belt, and if it's a tie, the champ retains. So first one, we were talking to Matt Bell, one of our Patreons, on a Zoom call just a moment ago, and we were talking about Bull, and we're just not sure which Bull we're going to get on any given night. He can go off and have a really good game, or he can be kind of quiet and look a little disjointed at times.
Mhm.
So
He always looks disjointed.
Well, it's a whole different conversation. I'm going to go with 10-point games for Bull in the next, we got 6 games. These are winnable games versus San Antonio, Lakers, the Pistons, the Wizards, the Thunder, and the Grizzlies. So out of those 6 games, how many 10-point games, over under 2.5 games, sir?
Over.
Okay. Said with confidence. I like it, and I hope I'm wrong. I would, but I didn't know where to set that. 3.5. I don't think I would have got you at the over. So
Maybe not. I'm banking on 3 of those 6.
yeah. Well, that's kind of what I felt too. So we'll see.
Yep. I feel good about it.
All right.
So this one you're going to love. And
Okay.
I did this for you
Thank you.
because
You're thoughtful.
I've got some stats for you.
Oh, yes.
In the last 8 games,
Mm-hmm.
the Magic have averaged 116 points per game,
Yes.
which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
For the season, right now, after 33 games, as of when we record, we are at 109.6 per game. That is the highest win total since the 90s.
Win total? You mean offensive rating?
Points.
Oh, points.
I don't deal with offensive rating in any of these bullshit.
You said win
stats.
total, so you just.
I know, but I messed up.
All right, points.
So in 89-90, the first season, they ended the season scoring 110.9 points a game.
Okay.
And then that same mark, 110.9 in 94-95. Those are the two highest for an Orlando Magic team ever in the history of the team. And right now, we're at 109.6 for the season. So we're within striking distance of a franchise record.
Yeah.
And in the last 8, we're way over that.
Yeah.
So I say to ye, sir,
Mm-hmm.
in this set of next 6 games,
Mm-hmm.
how many points per game are the Orlando Magic going to score? I'm going to set the line
Mm-hmm.
a little lower than this last set of 8 because I
Okay.
feel like this was a very healthy month.
Yeah.
But I'm going to also set a little lower than our current line. I'm going to set it at 107. 107 points per game in the next 6.
And what were we in the last?
In the last 8, we had 116. For the season, we're at 109.6.
Okay, I'm going to take the over.
Just taking the over.
We got some winnable games here, and we've got a scorer that you just said in Paulo Banchero who can give you 20 on a bad night. Wendell coming back. Let's go. Score some buckets. All right,
Fair
so
enough. Feel good about it.
I told you potential assists were coming back, ladies and gentlemen, and here they are. So Markelle Fultz's assist numbers have been a little lower than I would like. It led me to check on his potential assists, and potential assists are how many times a player passes the ball and then is followed by a shot to the person that they pass it. What could be an assist and essentially rules out if your team is shooting crappily, you had more opportunities to get assists, but people weren't making buckets. So if everyone would make the bucket, Markelle would have 9.3 assists a game. He's only averaging about 4.5 or something like that. So 5 people are missing shots on him, essentially. He's right now around guys like Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant have similar potential assists per game. The best assist per game or potential assists in the league right now is Tyrese Halliburton, who what's the joker Wally Zerbiak said isn't an all-star. Wannabe all-star. Where's the beef coming from? We don't know. These ex-players need to chill the fuck out, man. Tyrese Halliburton leads the league in potential assists, 20.2 per game.
Gross.
Now, will Markelle go from his current of 9.3? Will he get to 10.5 in this recent stretch of games? And that's right above Spencer Dinwiddie.
I just did a nice thing for you, came with some stats, went back, got some goddamn history, and you come to me with this bullshit. This is a made-up stat, and it is complete horseshit. I hate this stat so much. It shouldn't exist.
I love it.
And let me tell you what.
Yeah.
This is a made-up stat
Uh-huh.
that you need to stop caring about.
I
And there's a lot of them.
care deeply about it, Pete.
But I want to tell you what. Fans of teams that don't win shit care about this kind of stat.
Oh,
because you're looking to grasp to something, right?
Sure.
You want to attach yourself. You say, well, we only won 22 games last year, but we led the league in potential assists and blah, blah. And it's like, hey man, nobody gives a shit about that. So you shouldn't either. So I'm hoping that as we go forward, you as a fan grow and stop caring about this shit that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because it doesn't.
I need to put some music behind you. Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
I just want that for all fans, right? Stop digging deep into these weird stats to see what's happening. Look in the win-loss column. Look in the what have you done for me lately in the postseason column. Because that's where we haven't scored. So you're desperately looking for areas where we're making headway.
Well, I was going to do the win-loss bet, but you said you already took it.
Fair enough. Well, it's coming. It's coming next. And that's a legit stat, ladies and gentlemen. But don't spoil it. I guess I have to select something for this.
Select this non-legit stat. Will he have 10.5 potential assists?
I still don't really understand what a potential assist could be. I feel like
he passes it to someone and they shoot it.
This is who's sitting in a chair tracking this or watching video and then decides, maybe that could have been one. I don't know. Maybe I'll mark it as a yes. Maybe I'll mark it as a no. It doesn't seem
somebody
real concrete to me.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So it's bizarre and absurd, and so I have to select one or the other. I guess I'll just take the over, so I'm not rooting against Markel.
Wow. There you go, Pish. Okay. All right. What do you got? This one is this the win-loss one right here?
Yes, this is a legitimate stat, folks. And I used to pose this one to you last year a few times.
Yeah, we would do
where I'd be like, hey, what's the over-under for wins? And I'd set the line at like 0.5 or 1.5, hoping that we could win 1 or 2 games in an 8-game span.
Right.
This is a 6-game span.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, the line is at 3. Here's the rub. The line is 3, my guy. 3. You pick the over or the under. And if we only win 3 games, it's a push.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's really generous of you because that could cause you defeat, right?
I'm a fighting champion.
Okay. I like it.
We're 2-2 going into this round. It could end up being a 2-1.
See,
you may only need to win 2 to win it.
Thoughtful, funny.
Instead of it, you needing 3.
Gentlemen, ladies, I hope your panties are already wet. Look at this man. All right. Yeah. Then I'm going to take the over. I think let's go 4-2.
He's going to go for 4.
Let's go.
I hope you're right.
I think 5 of these games are winnable. I think we can beat San Antonio, the Lakers especially without Davis, Detroit without Cade Cunningham. Washington's been playing pretty well. Oklahoma City, we can definitely win. And then Memphis. I'm assuming we lose to Memphis. I hope it's a close game. And I imagine we lose one of these others, but the other 4, we have a chance to win all 5 of these. Definitely. I mean, we have a chance to win all of them. But I expect us to really win 5 of them. One of those probably won't happen. So 4, I like it.
I like it too. I hope that you win that one. It feels good in my soul to be able to set a line like 3 and actually believe in it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Peach.
Baby steps.
You heard about
Legitimate
it earlier.
Stats.
You heard about it earlier, ladies and gentlemen, in the little bit that we had. Court Cousins Night is happening Thursday, February 23rd. We're taking on the Pistons. We got club level seats. We're doing giveaways with some exclusive team gear, hopefully some autograph stuff. We're going on the court after the game, cutting down the net. We're all going to be hanging out, having a good time. Check out fivo.me/Court Cousins to get your tickets.
Book a sitter now. Let's go.
Let's go. You got plenty of time. No freaking excuses. The more people that buy early, the more things we can entice the Magic ticket sales reps to throw into our package to sweeten the deal for all of us.
Plus, we get to be on a future episode of the show because I'm sure we're going to do some videotaping, do
some
a vlog.
vlogging, we do some interviews and stuff.
Oh, it's going to
be sweet. It's going to be sweet. We hope to see you all there, all you second cousins. Have a big family reunion down in Orlando, baby.
Hell yeah. 407, baby.
Time for the large ending. Peach, hit the music.
I'm not charging music. All right.
Here it goes. Peach, there are some folks out in the Magic Twitter sphere that I've been having this debate on. Some say we really shouldn't focus on the playoffs as the goal, but I think it's a tangible thing that we really should be pushing for. Do you think we should set our expectations as play-in right now, sir?
As a fan, maybe. If you're talking about as a team, I don't think they should ever view trying to get to a thing versus just try to win this game, win that game, win this game. I don't think it's a good mindset, but I bet you if you asked all those players and they were being 100% honest with you, yes, it is a goal.
What's your answer?
My goal?
Well, what is it okay? Are you going to
I think it's okay.
All right.
Why is it not okay to want your team to succeed and go far?
Let's go. Play in, baby.
Let's go, buddy.
Peace. What's your question?
All right. Do you have a favorite? It's college bowl season.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't watch a lot of college football.
I don't either.
But they have some bizarre names for their college bowls. Do you have a favorite college bowl name of all time? I've got one.
Okay, go.
Because I can see that you're probably
I'm
looking one up
right now. Yep.
For me, I don't remember when it was, but it was a few years of the Poolin' Weed Eater Independence Bowl, which I thought was a fucking weird name for a bowl.
It's just a company name bowl.
Company name bowl. It happens a lot. There's also the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl that goes on now in LA. What's yours?
What
are you being told?
I see this one. I see this Poolin' Weed Eater Independence Bowl. That's hilarious.
Man, legit.
I mean, the salad bowl, I've been known to toss a couple salads. So maybe that one.
Okay. Thought maybe you'd go with the bowl.
I like bowl. Cheez-Its bowl is on here. I do love Cheez-Its.
That was a good one.
Yeah. The Cheribundi Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. That's a mouthful.
That is something. That's a mouthful on and off
I
the field.
really don't watch college football at all. UCF fans out there, let me know in the comments what bowl should I be looking out for this year.
Probably whatever bowl they're in. Whatever
Well, that's what I want to know because I want to support our brethren down in Orlando. Peach, the Bills have the best record in the AFC. You told me. Are they going to the chip? Are they going to the championship?
I feel like the way things are set out now is good.
Okay.
So as long as they can end the season at number 1, yes.
Okay. I'll hold you to that. Dolphins fans, you heard that, right?
Get ready. It is holiday time, and I'm going to sing a lyric, and I want you to finish it.
Okay.
It's the holiday season.
The holiday season. Doop-dee-doo. Na-na-na-na. Does anyone actually know the words?
Oh, he's so close. What we're looking for is whoop-dee-doo and hickory dock, and don't forget to hang your sock.
Peach, after Christmas, we have the new year.
Yes.
Any
This
resolutions?
is our last show of the year.
It is. It is. Any resolution, sir?
To move out of your attic.
Yeah, it's a team effort. We'll make that happen.
Yeah, all
We'll
right.
make it happen.
All right, look, it's the end of the year. It's just I've always wanted to do one of those things where you get your family together and you go, hey, from our family to yours.
Yeah.
So we're shooting that,
Yeah.
and then you got to put that up, right? Like
Yeah.
we'll get a whole family together and we'll do that whole corny
Right.
end of an 80s sitcom.
There's
thing.
only like 5 of us. It won't be hard.
I know, but it'll be fun. We'll do it. We'll bring stuff. We'll get rid of it. Let's do it. But anyway, it's been a great year. Thank you for letting me habitat in your attic.
It's been great, dude.
Me
Love
and the
you.
mice really love it up here. And looking forward to another great year ahead in 2023. So
So from our family to yours,
yeah, usually I say thanks for coming at the end of the show, but thanks for having.
it's great. Thanks for being here, Peach. It's been a great year. You've made it awesome. Have a happy holiday, a safe and warm and loving holiday, and a great new year, ladies and gentlemen.
Call an Uber if you're drinking. Don't be dumb.
We'll see you soon. Peace.
Thanks for coming.